I've got to be honest. I keep going back and forth. This might be one where, like, when we get started, I usually write down a score, but all day today, I've been thinking about my score, and I've been like, is that the score? Like,
I think we are supposed to be biased toward our current social, cultural setting in terms where this is not ancient. This isn't 100 years old. We were born when this was made, so we can relate to maybe the parentage of where this has been. I think I was enjoying it until it started feeling very dated, and then I hated it when it wrapped in just straight up the feeling of misogyny of like, this is just an awkward interaction turned into a kidnapping date that she has to go along with.
Oh man, I'm gonna feel sleazy this whole recording because that didn't even register with me. It registered like at the beginning,
Sure,
and then I was like, oh well, I guess it's okay. But now that you're saying it out loud, I'm like, oh, it shouldn't have.
Oh man, he does all the stuff to force her to go have dinner with him, and it's like, I having never acted that way myself, I don't think I would tolerate it with my own children acting or being forced into a date, even with a cop. I mean, especially with a cop.
Especially with a cop.
In this sort of circumstance. So, man, did it sour my impression of Martin Riggs, because he is made to seem very sympathetic. We get a couple of glimpses of him loving his wife, and I'm like, cool. Did you force her to marry you too?
Yeah, well, how was that first date?
It's like, thank you for being anti-fascist and anti-racist. I really dislike this other portion of your personality because that 2026, I would condemn this sort of behavior of a 30-something-year-old. Last time we just decided he was, 37? Maybe he's 38, yeah. 39 now. I'm like, acting that way would have been permissible up to that point. And so there's no issue on his side of making a scene that forces her to go on a date. And from that point, I'm like, sure, maybe she eventually softens to him and all of that is consensual. Like, sure hope so.
Welcome to Potato Chip Pictures, the movie franchise review podcast. My name is B. Sammy Davis.
And I am Justin.
Yeah! And today, we are looking at 1989's Lethal Weapon 2. Justin, tell me about this movie.
It was made after the first one came out. It was still directed by Richard Donner, which still, I don't think I remember what we discussed last time. If he made anything else famous, his name sure sounds familiar. But different screenwriter. This will be the screenwriter for Lethal Weapon 3 as well, plus somebody else in the next one. But Shane Black still in charge of story, but Warren Murphy added in, and producers all the way through our entire series is Richard Donner and Joel Silver. They got 25% of last time's return to make this film. That is around $30 million.
So I gotta jump in on Richard Donner because
sure.
it's been driving me crazy, and I only just now decided to click his link
The
to
name.
see, well, yeah, what else has he done? Like, how could I possibly have recognized that name without knowing who he is? So his early career, he did a lot of stuff with television, including the Banana Splits. I don't know if you ever saw that
No.
on syndication. It
No
was
idea.
it was this weird amalgamation that had like part live action and then part animation. And it really feels like a fever dream because I don't remember it all that well. But it kind of reminded me of those McDonald's commercials where they'd go to McDonald's land and there's all the people in their costumes. And that was the Banana Splits. If I'm remembering correctly, I know I saw it on syndication when I'd be at my grandparents' house and I would just be watching reruns, and that would come on from time to time. But the big one, the one that he's known for, was Superman and Superman 2, except
Oh.
he was fired from Superman 2
Huh.
like 3/4 of the way through, and someone else had to come in and finish filming it. And there is, it was released in 2006, but there is a Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut, and I have never gone back to the theatrical cut because the Richard Donner cut is better. It is a better movie.
That's where he's from.
And then, yep, that's his biggest one. That's the one that everybody would know. And then he was a producer on the X-Men film series, not the director, but he was a part of that. So he's done a lot with action and big stuff. As far as smaller projects go, he did The Omen in 1976. I love that movie. I genuinely love The Omen. Yeah, I've never watched any of the sequels, but I really love the original. I watched it in high school, and I remember driving home and being scared that a demon had decided to follow me home. And I was like, this is a great movie if like I'm scared in the real world after the credits roll. So, okay, that's all I had to interrupt you with on Richard Donner.
Well, this sort of ingredient mix actually made them twice as much as the previous one, almost $227.9 million from 30.
Yeah.
I think the 30 is, I'm trying to think if maybe they added extra helicopters in this one because the look felt the same.
They blow up a house.
Yeah, that's where like the cinematography feels close to the same. We don't have that column in our notes, but I think it feels like the same sort of shooting for all of it. I think we may not have to establish LA as quite a big a character in this one, but let's see, screenwriter, The Switch added a lot more puns and laughter that was meant to be there. I do feel like it's a slightly less serious tone, but it's not like it's a super bad thing. The beginning was enjoyable.
Someone took me back to the mid to late 80s, and it was my older brother. We were talking about the franchise, and he was saying which one was his least favorite, and I was like, I mean, I don't remember 3 or 4 that well. It's been a long time since I've seen them, but of the 2 that we've watched, the bottom is the original, and that's only because it was so serious. It was a crime noir with just like a couple of jokes, but really we are there for a real serious story. And he was like, well, that was, the mid 80s. That was 1987, but still that was part of the uber macho era when so many of the action and horror movies would feature the manliest of men. And it was just like, who can outman the next movie? Who's going to be the stronger, manlier man? And so Richard Donner taking a turn into comedy was brilliant, because it's like, I don't want to compete with Arnold. I don't want to have another They Live or Predator or Alien or any of these movies where big muscly guys are always yelling and shooting and blowing things up. He wanted something that capitalized on, frankly, what Lethal Weapon did best, which was establish a friendship that was brilliant to watch. And then they were like, okay, now let's make that friendship even stronger. And they're funny and they enjoy being together. And oh, it got me right from the beginning.
They care so much about each other.
Yeah. They
as manly as possible.
Them. Yes, it's the manliest friendship that's ever been committed to film, but it's still a genuine and wonderful friendship. It's wild to me that, 20, 30 years later, Mel Gibson would be wildly racist. And because you watch this and his character is very anti-racist. He is a part of Murtaugh's family. He is someone who loves Murtaugh. They have this beautiful moment on the toilet where Murtaugh wants to tell him how much this friendship means. Yeah. And they look at each other and Riggs is just like, I know. And it's the same. And I was like, oh, yeah, like nothing actually has to be said because we understand. Like, yeah, this is the 80s. Guys can't talk about their feelings, but they can. 100%. They can make eye contact and be like, there is something I need to communicate. Look into my eyes, feel it with me, and tell me if you feel it too. And he's like, yeah, I'm there with you. We are going to survive this. And so that, I think, is the strongest element of this movie. And I think it's made even better. But you're right. There's going to be a part later on that starts to bring me down. And then, frankly, the ending also kind of brings me down. But from the beginning at the very beginning, I was like, this is a 10 out of 10 movie. This is such a great intro.
I think the beginning does a lot of favors to the scores. I was a little thrown off at the very, very, very beginning where the Warner Brothers Looney Tunes fanfare starts for a second and then it stops. I was like, well, yes, this is a Warner Brothers show, but are you seriously? We going to see the Animaniacs at some point? So maybe I laugh for that.
See, and then everything made me laugh after that. Like, speed up, go faster. And then why is Murtaugh taking his wife's brand new station wagon to work? Drive his own dang car.
I feel like logistically, yeah, should have just driven your own car because you can still do replacement pieces that they end up doing by the end to make the station wagon really look battle tested.
Oh yeah, it gets.
Can do that with a different car.
Yeah, you don't have to use your wife. Like, your wife's cooking does not justify destroying her brand new car.
Yeah. I do feel like the family is a little less visible all the way through. Kind of get more focus on Murtaugh explaining his broken heroic manness, which I will maybe influence my score based on the return of this movie because obviously in 1989 people loved it.
Oh yeah. I still liked it a lot. There's really only a couple of stinkers to me. You were talking about the beginning and that when Murtaugh he finally reveals what happened to his dead wife. And that was a powerful moment. And then to, kick the knees out from under you, then Murtaugh comes in and says some stupid line. And it does take the wind out of the sails of the emotional moment. But at the same time, it's like, I'm just glad Riggs got a chance to talk to someone about it and that we, the audience, got to hear it. And it is kind of funny because that is what a dad would do. He would come in at the end of the conversation, say something stupid and inappropriate without knowing it, and everybody just moves on. Like,
you missed the moment. You went and stepped on it, but you didn't know.
Yeah. And then
from that scene, I enjoy the cat being on top of the refrigerator.
Oh, yeah.
The touches and scenes here and there make it very real. And I love that.
I also caught the cat. I was like,
so
that
cute.
Cat is just sitting there, and they're leaving the drawer open. My cats would have used that to crawl into another cave. Yeah, but it was adorable. And then to your point about not seeing the family, like, I feel as though in the beginning we get some really good characterization with the kids, but then like third, maybe a quarter of the way through the movie, we will not see them again. We will see the daughter's commercial one more time, but we are not seeing the family anymore for the rest of this movie.
I think, like, I feel like they have a reason to explain it away, that he's already had break-ins and then bombs in his house, and it's like, well, yeah, the kids and mom should probably be safeguarded somewhere. I don't know how long this all takes overall, the whole story window.
It's like the course of 2 days, maybe. Like, it's not very long. It's not like a week or anything. It is just a few days of action. Yeah.
So I feel like I miss that bit of interaction, but I do think this is supposed to be, what, a year down the road, and they're... It's not Christmas, is it?
Nope. I didn't see a single Christmas decoration. So I know Shane Black, he's credited for being part of the story, and I'm pretty sure he wrote the first draft of the script. Then I think Warren Murphy came in for another draft. I could be speaking wrong here. I don't know enough about Warren Murphy, but I do know that Jeffrey Boehm was the final script writer. So he had the original story, and then he probably added a lot of the comedy to it to lighten it up. And frankly, he probably was like, screw this Christmas noise. Like, this is LA. Who cares about Christmas? Like,
it's meant to wrap up the film and, a feel good. I don't know. I have no idea why it would make such a decision like that. Before we get rid of the family, there's a whole side plot of his daughter being in a commercial for condoms. It's like she didn't inform anybody about the commercial content before saying, "Oh, it's going to be on TV." Like,
yeah, she's so innocent. She thinks everyone's going to be proud of her.
Right? Like, I feel like that part was a little bit surprising. I mean, you should count on your family to, like, support and back you up on these endeavors. But not knowing that going into sharing it with friends and family, that's
okay. I got to take you to a hypothetical, and this might make the podcast go a little long, but I do got to know, because I struggle with this with my own kid. I have been friends with OnlyFans people, people who have created accounts and have tried to make money. None of them have been able to sustain themselves, and at best, it has just been something where they get maybe $20 or $30 on the side. But I've never wanted to actually support them. Like, I'm all for them doing it, and I think it's cool that they do it, and I'm really impressed that they have the confidence with themselves, because I don't have the confidence in my own body. Like, I barely like dating when I rarely do it, because I'm always like, ew, look at me. Whereas these people are like, I'm into it. And, watching her do this secret condom commercial, it got me thinking, what happens, in 10 to 15 years when my kids get old enough and my daughter says, I've got a banging body and I want to be on OnlyFans. How do we deal with that?
I comparing that to the commercial, I do think it's a separate avenue of decisions because I don't know the general age population that's planning on doing that. I don't know that it's generally. I mean, that's the thing. As adults, we are happy to let other adults make their decisions.
Yeah.
As
It's
parents,
their life.
yeah, I'm not as inclined to support that sort of decision, especially because it's not. That wouldn't be a career route that I would be signing on for before their adult age, and then even before that's when would be good to discuss. Like my oldest kid does know that like strippers exist and like various things out in the world, but it's not like it's a so go this route if you're looking to do that.
Yeah, you haven't given them the instruction manual.
My oldest did want to watch a show from Channing Tatum from his early career, and was like, "Oh, well, what else is he in?" And she's like, "Oh, like this Magic Mike one." And we're like, "So that's like actually like he's a stripper in that one." I don't know if you call it something different, but it was informative. Made me chuckle because
that's another franchise. All you got to do, email us at potatochippicturespod@gmail.com, request it, and I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to watch it if it is requested. I've never seen them.
Same. I feel like it, I don't know what the main plot would even be. Anyway, tangent.
Yeah, I apologize. I just had to throw that out there.
In terms of this commercial, sharing with your family and friends, your OnlyFans acquaintances sharing with family and friends feels like that's a big jump, at least in terms of I don't know. Be a content warning to your family and friends versus this is a commercial that's airing to the public, so it's not like there's anything quite.
See, and that's why I'm making that comparison, is because like she didn't tell the family that this was a condom commercial, and now everybody
has a problem with it.
Yeah. Well, and even if they don't have a problem with it, you get people like Leo who's like, she's got a banging bod. I want to watch. I want to see this.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I was like, I did not look up how old his child's supposed to be. Is she living at home? Because that is...
she is living at home.
I don't know that you should cast minors in condom commercials.
I think she was 17 in Lethal Weapon. So if this is 1 year apart, then she's got to be 18.
That's where I'm like, consenting adult.
Yep.
Do your thing and...
but at the same time, 18 is not truly an adult. Like, okay, I've got conflicting... Yeah. I've got conflicting views because on the one hand, I think 16-year-olds should be allowed to vote. I'm of the opinion that so many decisions that are made directly impact teenagers. They should have a say. I also don't know if I think 18 is truly an adult. I don't think 18 is a magic number where suddenly you can be bequeathed with responsibility. And if so, then why not 16? But at the same time, I'm a huge fan of the creepy calculator. When it comes to like dating, if you don't know what that is, it is half your age plus 7. And so like if you go below that age limit, it's kind of creepy. And Leo has to be above that age limit because like he's so
or
gross.
Like
yeah.
it was pretty gross. I enjoy the character of Leo a bit
Yeah,
more than
let's
I
get to
assume
him.
he's supposed to be enjoyed.
Oh no,
But I
you
do
enjoyed
think
him the perfect amount. He is so funny. I love. Okay. Like I
it's not
love what
even a
Joe Pesci
catchphrase,
did.
but I know it. Like,
Oh yeah.
it's not like Miss Frizzle saying her catchphrase. It's
Hmm.
just the word okay iterated, and it's genius. Like,
It really is. And he's just a sidekick. He's not a main part of the cast, but he is
mhm.
in a lot of this movie. And by the end of it, I see him as a third friend. I believe that hug. Like when he gives the hug to both of them, I'm like, yeah, I can see them accepting Leo as a friend. So I think Joe Pesci is a wonderful addition to the cast. I think Leo is just slimy enough to be endearing.
uh,
He doesn't have a lot of charisma. He's not a charming person. He's a nerd who's also inappropriately horny, and like he wants to get involved in everything, and it works for me. It really does. Even the low parts, I'm like, still 2 thumbs up. I would hang out with Leo. I would let him join the friend group.
yeah. I don't feel like he pops up immediately though, because we have
No.
to get an eye on the fascists in the Spectre
Yeah.
Evil Dude office. It's funny that the Mighty Ducks wise old man becomes. I guess this movie would be before Mighty Ducks 1. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Oh
But
yeah,
he is.
89. This is I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure this is before Home Alone and Mighty Ducks.
Oh, is he in
Um,
Home
well,
Alone?
he's not in Home Alone, but Joe
Oh,
Pesci
okay.
is.
Oh, yes.
Uh,
Yeah. The I don't know his actor name, but he
Joss
is
Ackland. He died in
Arjun Rudd.
yeah. Arian Rudd. Oh my god, I love. Okay, Joss Auckland died November 19th, 2023. Uh, I say that to be like, we don't speak ill of the dead, but there's no point in saying that because he's
He's,
so good.
he's
He's,
like he's playing a character very well
mm-hmm.
because he's annoying, but I do see him as the Mighty Ducks hockey shop
Oh
owner.
yeah. Yeah, like he is great at being a compassionate, wonderful old man. And then in this movie, he proves he's also great at being a Nazi. Like
Yeah.
and I gotta
Uh,
say, I love that the racists are the bad guys. There is no two ways around it.
no.
They're all evil. It's okay to shoot Nazis. Like, let's
Yep.
go.
That's half of the other part of the equation of the grocery store kidnapping that we get to later. It's okay if the Nazi is hot. Apparently.
Well, she's not with them. Like the Wikipedia describes her as a liberal Dutch South African, specifically meaning that she at least we are supposed to think that she is opposed to apartheid, that she's not a part of the business, but there's nothing in the movie. Nothing in the movie that says this, except that she's not a dick to Murtaugh. Like all
Right.
the other racists are, and she's just like, "Oh, hey, Murtaugh, how you doing?" Like,
Yeah. They kind of briefly discuss a little bit of, well, I don't support my country and my boss. It's like, but the job is necessary for me to be
you're
here
still
in
getting
LA.
the paycheck.
It's like, yes, yeah. So it's awkward because you have to put a romantic interest into this movie, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
All of my down points are probably going to be absorbed by the fact that this movie made so many millions of dollars. Like
Well, I think you are fair to bring up Rika Vandenhaas because she is one of my thumbs down for this movie. I'm a big fan of boobs in movies, so I'm glad we got some of that. But her character is very complicated to me because on the one hand, the thing I like the most about her is that we get to see Riggs in love. This is like a one-day love affair, but still he's saying stuff like she drinks beer. Like he's so smitten by her and he's finally moving on from his dead wife. Like, I know that's a terrible thing to say, but at the same time, life is for the living and he's got to live his life. And he's finally met someone who's allowing him to do that. But she works for the bad guys. And then the only reason she exists in the script besides getting naked is to be the refrigerated woman, the person who's going to get killed and make the hero fly into a rage where he will finally be willing to take off the badge and go in guns blazing. Like, and I may be colored by, I don't remember her name, but there was an essayist about 10 years ago, and she did this whole video about the refrigerated woman. It comes from, I think, The Flash, where it could have been Green Lantern. It was either Marvel or DC, but one of them had their main character open the fridge to discover his dead wife. And that made him so angry and so filled with rage that he was able to go out and kill everything. And since then, comics, video games, television shows, anytime you need your hero to really have some emotion, you kill off the lady interest. And there's so many examples of this where like the good guys, he can save the day, but he's not ready until something kicks him over the edge. And that's always going to be a dead woman. And that's the same here. And I'm just like, like we finally get an interesting love interest and she's gone.
Yeah. It's like, does he own, I guess that's before going to the house where Leo's getting beat up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he gets essentially Murtaugh gets on board where he's like, I'm not stopping you. I'm joining you.
I think she is that particular plot device. I think she it stops the momentum of the movie to get to the trailer blow up and all the cops getting exploded at their houses.
Oh man, even I forget his name, Dean Norris, I think, the dude from Breaking Bad. So.
Yeah.
He gets iced. Like all of not all, there's like 4 of them who are at the poker game, but I liked at least 2 of them. There's the black detective who I think was on the phone in the first movie to be like, oh, Officer Riggs died. Well, he's back and he doesn't do much in this one, but there's a few times where he's like, I'm sitting here thinking like, yeah, he's a good detective. I'm glad he's here. And then of course you've got the dude from Breaking Bad where he looks very mean. And there were times when I'm like, is he a mole on the inside? Like, is he a bad guy? No, he's just a hard ass who's a detective. And unfortunately, he doesn't make it through the movie. And like, oh, it broke my heart. I was like, I loved at least 2 of these guys and I didn't get any time with them.
I do think that is a bonus, a plus towards the movie's rating because it brought the stakes to actual reality. Like these guys have been barging into homes, tying up Murtaugh, not quite doing anything yet, but then I can't remember exactly why they decided to start killing the cops, but they go through with it, and it's people that had names and interactions with the main characters. They've been at the arm dislocation stuff where he's placing bets and whatnot, and they die in the movie, and it has a weight. Like, yes,
they are not coming back for the sequel.
Would be upset about this, and it it's what a crime syndicate would probably try and pull off if
Yeah.
they were having too much trouble with the cops. Like,
I I I find the villain's escalation believable because we start with just a scare where 5 Nazis in masks come into Murtaugh's house, tie up him and his wife, and then leave, and the kids are there, and they get him out. Scare number 2 is specifically meant to kill Murtaugh, and that's the toilet bomb, which is my other 10 out of 10 sequence. I love the toilet bomb. And then escalation number 3, they're panicked and they're like, we're just going to kill all of the LAPD. Like, screw it. We're just going to kill everybody. And that's the night when the poker game is blown up. Leo gets captured. Murtaugh nails his assassins and even says, I nailed them.
both of them.
I love it. And then Riggs is with his Nazi girlfriend, and they get shot up by helicopters, but they're able to run away, and Riggs is able to be he's able
with
to
the box of scraps.
It really is, because he's got a handgun and he takes out a whole helicopter.
Yeah. I feel like I've seen it parodied, and I think I found the parody. I think it's called Loaded Weapon with Emilio Estevez and Samuel L. Jackson. I can't confirm because it says that it parodies a lot of things, but I want specifically to think that I remember a clip of this trailer fight being a feature in that movie.
I'm going to have to give that a shot because I kept seeing posters for it and I was like, this looks interesting. I might enjoy this. But at the same time, they're, spoofing an already funny movie doesn't always work. That's when I'm like, oh, you made a mistake. But I feel like the villain's escalation is believable and it makes sense. And I have to talk about my 10 out of 10 scene of the toilet bomb. It's besides the opening of this movie that is high octane, very funny, but very exciting. Now you've got this quieter moment that is supposed to be a high stress moment, but it's a dude stuck on a toilet because if he gets up, he's going to blow up. And that it is kind of funny that you're stuck on a toilet. And then the moments between Riggs and Murtaugh where they're really like expressing their friendship without saying the words. I'm sitting here like, I was nearly in tears.
I love you.
And
I love you too, man.
I was just like, oh, this is so good.
Like, in Bullet Train, don't the brothers tell each other they love each other? Like, I feel like that's where we've come to, because that would be the same sort of relationship.
We can finally say it out loud, like now in 2020 something with Bullet Train. But back in 1989, it had to be, I know, and I feel the same way. And, we're going to get out of this. And I loved it. It was a really impactful moment. I just love that entire sequence because, Murtaugh is missing. He hasn't checked in. He's never missed a day of work. And so naturally people are concerned and they go to check on him. He's in an empty house and we discover all he wanted to do was take a crap without kids or his wife trying to bang in, like stop him. And then he found a bomb under his toilet and that sucks.
It's going to be taken care of. I think it's a decent a decent departure while still containing bits of the story. Like, the people want to kill him. Here's a toilet bomb. We're actually here to remind the audience that these dudes love each other and would be there at the bitter end. Riggs, when the bomb guy's like, hey, we gotta go, Riggs, it's like he's trying to tell a dog to leave Be like,
Yeah, he's like,
you gotta
no,
come. Nope.
that's not happening. Good
Understandable.
luck.
So I think it was a necessary for really giving the movie the heart of what the first one had. So for my detractions of this, there are 10 out of 10 scenes.
Well, do you have anything else from the beginning through like the first 2/3? Because for me, we've touched on the things I love the most, and we're about to get towards the things that I kind of hated about this movie, and that's mostly in the end. Like everything is kind of piled in the back end where I'm like,
I think they set up a decent confrontation with the South Africans in terms of, somebody is above the cops. They can't actually touch these guys. It's like, sure, but if it's illegal, I would expect not.
Yeah. I don't know anything about diplomatic immunity, but there's got to be a line drawn somewhere.
Yeah, I think. Who knows?
I forgot my other... I'm going to say it's my 7 out of 10 scene because it's not the best, but it's still, I don't know. I'm a sucker for any time you make racists feel bad. And that's when when Leo is like, I need you to talk my friend out of trying to immigrate to South Africa. I love the embassy assault when Riggs breaks in using Murtaugh as a distraction because Murtaugh comes up and he's like, no, I'm gonna go fight apartheid. Yep. Like, I'm gonna go to South Africa and help my brothers. And they're like, but you're black. Yeah. The way they say it. Oh, I love it.
I do think being born around that time makes it hard to really know how much it was in the public consciousness, but I do feel like current times, I would expect a similar reaction to someone trying to come to the United States, and all that would seem appropriately set in our time period. So it's interesting that way to me.
Yeah. I genuinely enjoyed it. I love that confrontation. I didn't love the confrontation when Riggs reveals himself in the office and shoots the fish tank.
Yeah.
That's the part that I'm like, slapstick. Thumbs down to that, but building up to it, brilliant.
Yes.
Loved it.
Slapstick, I'm the tough American and you can't actually frighten me, so you better be frightened of me. It's like, okay, so there's
and
the
no
macho.
Consequence.
Yeah.
There's my other issue. They've been bragging about diplomatic immunity, saying they're going to contact the State Department, and then this time they're like, well, I guess he's just gonna keep doing what he does. Like, there's never a consequence to them pursuing these people with diplomatic immunity. And, that's because the movie didn't even consider it, I guess. But in the back of my head, I was like, well, now he's definitely going to get in trouble. And he didn't. Nope. No one gets him in trouble.
Nobody gets in trouble. The rules are useless.
Yeah. But then we get, we skipped over it, and I said you might have to re-say it.
Oh, sure. I'm trying to make sure I know, because he talks with Rika on his way out, and then he becomes a stalker.
I know, that's so gross.
Yeah. Well, like, even before that, going into the office scene, he's like next to the car of the main Arjun dude on the street. He's at the protest as the guy comes in. He's holding the sign up.
That stalker side I like. It's when he starts stalking Rika.
Yeah.
Like, follows her to the grocery store.
At the grocery store, and just his intent. And this is where the only redeeming thought would be if it was for his job. He's doing this to get more information. But
nope.
Yeah, he's doing it to get after and take Rika back to his trailer that's on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, is there a different word for it? It looks like one of the RV trailer type things.
He calls it a trailer.
Okay.
He says, I've got a trailer on the beach.
It seems...
It's not much, but it's a hell of a view.
It seems hella secluded for a first date. But he makes a scene in the store and she has been saying no consistently for about 10 seconds.
Like 3 or 4 no's. It is, ooh.
It is bad. I'm curious if listeners would tell me that it's not so bad in 1989. I was like, well, it still feels like that would have been something I wouldn't want to have happen.
I'm going to say it was A-okay in the 80s, at least culturally. And I've mentioned this when we were doing James Bond. I feel like there were, especially coming out of Hollywood, there were bad messages to young men. And I took those messages and thought that was the right way to go. And it was years later when I finally realized, like, no, this is gross and you can't be this way. Like, no one finds it charming or interesting. Like, these are the bad guys in real life. Like, just because they're the good guys in a movie doesn't mean they would be good guys in real life. Don't approach women the way Bond and Riggs do.
Yeah.
They're bad mentors.
Yeah, it's not going to be good. So I qualify it as a forced kidnapping. She unwillingly goes along with this stuff. At least in that scene when she's taken to his house. Like, from there, I don't know what to tell you. It's
consensual after that.
I really hope it seems like it. It's a movie, yes, but it still doesn't.
But it is awkward.
It doesn't.
Into it.
It doesn't make it better if it started out coerced. I don't love it. So that's my line for
1 out of 10 on the hookup. After that, like I said, I've got complicated feelings on the character because, you know, she is interesting and I like seeing Riggs kind of move on and grow as a character, but I also hate the concept of a refrigerated woman. I just have complicated feelings on her, and I really do not like how aggressive he is. It just makes me feel uncomfortable as an adult.
I'm trying to compare it to the first one and think, like, they're trying to get Murtaugh's daughter back. In this one, it's strictly revenge for the refrigerated woman, and it makes it feel like...
And the cops.
Yes, and the cops. The motivation is, I don't know, some sort of righteous justice for these criminals that are protected under some stupid law. And it's like, yes, criminals, yes, they're killing people, yes, something should be done. And this movie is the rubber stamp to say this cop is going to make it happen because he's just that angry. Like, anger is the justification to do whatever you want. And no. So I think that probably played pretty well in 1989 as per the return. So
yeah.
I will give it a rating based on what I think it is.
Well, I lied when I said that I don't like most of the ending. There is one thing I love about the ending, and that is the destruction of the house on stilts.
With one truck?
Oh boy. Yep. Have you ever played Grand Theft Auto 5?
May have been a long time.
So early in the game, I don't know how early it's pretty early in the game. One of the 3 main characters discovers that his wife is cheating on him with a tennis instructor. He chases that guy. That guy goes to a house on stilts, and then you connect a chain and you use a truck to bring the house down. And they're pulling that directly from this movie. And oh, it works so well for me. I really did enjoy the destruction of that house. I was like, yes, yes.
It looks really big. It looks pretty impressive. I got stuck in like Mythbusters mode. Like,
could a car
one of these things would
bring
fail
down
and the entire house would fall? I feel like the city planner wouldn't approve that.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. One stilt goes down and the whole house goes with it. I'll agree with you there. That is a little ridiculous. Still looks cool.
Why not just
Still give me the
plant
thumbs up.
explosives at different places? Then I would believe it a
True.
lot more. Because it was one truck
True.
pulled out this stilt that...
It's an American truck, mind you.
Right, exactly. That was my thought too. It's like, we're going to have masculine Riggs with this masculine truck pull down this house that all of this house weight is supported by these three little stilts. And it's going to work because
it has to.
Stilts are made to be not resistant to sideways forces. I'm like, they're in California, right?
Yep.
Don't
They
know
are
how
in
well
an earthquake zone.
Right. I'm like, are they supposed to be earthquake proof? Because this is just a truck. So that was
Yeah. That's my only thumbs up for
culturally
the
relevant
finale of this movie.
myth busted.
Yes. Once we get to the docks, I'm a solid thumbs down. I don't like anything about the final
same, but
location.
I think it starts earlier from turning your badges in to like, this is just the revenge path to who's going to end up killing who first. There's no, like, I guess the cops dying is when the bad guys get to the good guys. Like in the other one, they get captured, they get tortured, they lose.
Yeah.
This one, they get mad.
The cops lose, but they didn't.
Yeah. They get guns and they get even. And it's a little linear from like, I was having trouble figuring out what else is going on. This is just Commando when he finally gets to kill everybody on the island or whatever. There's no plot, but we kill the big bad guy. Then then the plot resolved. Like, okay. So,
and then I've got one other beef.
Sure.
One other thing. And I recognize that there has to be a Lethal Weapon 3 and 4. We live in a world where Lethal Weapons 3 and 4 happened. I think it would have been so ballsy and so great for Riggs to die. I can't get it out of my head that he should have died. That should have been the end of Riggs. That would have been a beautiful story arc. Yeah, he gets stabbed in the leg, gets this fight, and then gets shot. Yeah, like it can't be good for him. And apparently the bullets, all 5 of them missed anything critical because he's just fine. Like they're even joking by the end of the movie, but I just couldn't get it out of my head that it would have been a really meaningful story arc for that to be the end of Riggs. And I know it can't happen because we've got 2 more movies to go to, but it's the thing that has been stuck in my mouth all day because I watched it today. But I just can't get it out of my head. Riggs should have died.
I think that's fair to say as a hypothetical. I do think I did not think of it because I know there's a 3 and 4. I don't know if I've watched number 3. I have watched number 4. So I do look forward to that. The numbers say that it's not like a great runaway success, but I think I was old enough to remember that one.
Yeah.
If he had died, I think it may have jived with the revenge plot because apparently he had been so good at his job before The first movie,
Yeah,
his wife was
completely
killed
skipped over it.
by the South Africans.
That's my other thumbs down. It happens at the end of the movie where one of the bad guys like, oh, and by the way, I killed your wife.
Yeah, it's like,
So
oh,
dumb.
okay. I tried to be like, does this feel like it improves the lore of everything? I don't know that it does,
Nope, not for
unless
me.
if Riggs was going to die, if he was doing this arc to kill the people that killed his wife, then to die, it would bring it back to the crime noir feel of the first one. Yes, kill him off because he got his revenge. Like playing Max Payne, the guy is dying constantly because you have to save and reload and everything when you die.
Mm-hmm.
But he, like, it feels like it defies the fact that he should have died all these times by getting him through that next chapter of Max Payne. So in a movie, yes, I think if we were in the first one again, yeah, he should have died after taking revenge on those that killed his wife after learning about it. Because that beat feels better in a noir.
Well, and they killed both of his love
Yeah.
interests. They killed his wife, which is lame that they even added that to the story. And then they killed his Nazi girlfriend, who didn't get enough time to really endear me to her all that much. But those two deaths, it would make sense that he would happily go to paradise and be reunited with the two loves of his life.
Sure.
That's where I just think it would have worked better. But I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm willing to be wrong, but it is going to color my score.
I don't even have my rating yet. Like,
all right. Well, since I do, why don't you tell the audience about our rating system?
Our ratings are based on 1 through 10. But generally, it feels like ratings for movies hover around the 7 for an average movie. So, if a movie's average in our estimations, if it's something that you would not recommend as much as you recommend to other people, that would be a 5 movie. If it's aged poorly, if it's aged well, the return from a box office should not necessarily dictate our score, because it's now 2026. Unless something came out last year, we're going to have a completely different view of it than someone in 1989. We've gone through James Bond and we've rated them accordingly. We are mostly in the 1980s with our current series franchises. So we'll see. If something gets a 9, I would give it recommended wholeheartedly to any and all people that I know. With that said, a 5 is something, or a below is something that, I would probably say if you're thinking of watching it, just listen to the episode and we'll have watched it for you. With all that, go ahead, be Sammy Davis.
Well, I have been going back and forth between 2 scores because this is a rating that's hard to quantify, because for a lot of this movie, it is so good. It is genuinely great. And then it gets towards the end and things start to fall apart. And I think I am settled on a 7. I think a 7 is fair. I was hovering around an 8 because the beginning really is very strong. And this movie does so many things so much better than the last movie. And then we get to the end and it leaves such a bad taste in my mouth. I'm a person who is affected by the ending. I often tell people, like, if you're performing, don't worry about the mistakes you made at the beginning. Just try to really nail the end. Because I am one of those people who is going to pay more attention to the ending than anything else. And even though the beginning of this movie is brilliant and it really does a lot of things that are truly incredible for a 1989 movie, it gets to that end and I really dislike it. I don't like it a lot. I still recommend this movie. I think it's better than the original, and I think that we're going in the right direction. I think comedy was the missing ingredient for me. Like, now I'm saying I'm having a great time. So 7 does reflect the fact that I did enjoy myself. I would recommend watching this. I say it's a lot of fun, but I wanted it to be an 8 and I just can't get there. I can't get there. There's just too much wrong with the end of the movie for me to fully take it up a notch. So I'm at a 7, still highly recommended, still a great time, not perfect, not even close to perfect.
It's probably because I want to recommend stuff with my complete conviction that, yeah, I stand by what has happened in this movie. And man, can I not. I think it's a personal issue of taking the opinion of this movie as something connected to what I'm recommending, because I don't want to recommend a movie where the dude kidnaps a date. Like, I really don't. And that is a concrete part of this movie. It's disgusting. So that is so difficult for me to say. I can still rate it above average. No, I'm gonna say 5 because it just kills the show. Like
Everybody's got their line that they draw. And I think you have a very fair line that you have drawn.
I think I will only say that it's unfair to the wonderful friendship that we get to see. It's unfair to the inclusion of a new main character. Like, I'm excited to see Leo in the 3. I enjoyed him in 4. Not like that's spoiling anything. I think it's a discredit to the emotional journey we could have with Riggs getting over his wife 4 years later, only to know that, oh, the bad guys actually killed her too. But this is no longer the first movie where it was serious and where these beats feel like a black and white movie made in 1987 LA. Like, it's a comedy where it's funny that the end revenge plot is all that's there. Like, we went from lighthearted to murder, violent revenge, and it feels like that's a bigger swing than serious movie action that's serious and a resolution that's still serious. Like, in terms of critiquing something, box office returns say I'm wrong. If I lived in 1989, I am alive in 2026. So 5 for me for Lethal Weapon 2.
That's genuinely fascinating. I was talking to my brother about it, and he was saying, like, his favorite is 4. And his old roommate's favorite was 2. And I'm like, well, I don't remember enough about 3, but at one point in my life, I used to say 3 was my favorite. And so this is one of those franchises where it's interesting what people get out of it. And you and I got very different things out of this one, which gave us a show rating of 6 out of 10, a little bit lower than the last movie, which is a surprise to me. But at the same time, that's what happens with averages. I'm fine with my score. I feel like this one is an improvement on the last one, but I totally and absolutely recognize and understand being like, the good guy went bad. Like, he did something gross and I'm not into it.
Yeah. I feel like that's...
Yeah, it's Goldfinger all over again. And I felt that way with Goldfinger, where I was like, rape save the day, that sucks. Like, that is not the message to have. And this movie's like, yeah, all you got to do is just threaten to embarrass someone. And then, you can have a night of passionate sex. And that's a bad message to give anyone. Like, that sucks.
Yeah. I mean, the last message of this one is, go on a outside the law rampage to avenge your...
Yeah, man. Extrajudicial force will save the day.
Like, okay, not great, but it's a fantasy, and I think that sells. So,
yeah. Final notes before I let you take us out of here. Joe Pesci came back to cinemas in 1990 for Home Alone. I would argue one of his best movies, although Casino, or was it Casino? He was in a gangster movie where he was really incredible in that as well. I gotta say, between the three movies that I know him best for, I find the character of Leo the most endearing. He's the one that I just find the most charming and fun to see. And then his two villains, the one from the gangster movie where he's like, am I funny to you? Like, that's a little scary. Like, he freaks me out. And then Home Alone, he's a classic. He's a great classic villain in Home Alone. He really was a big deal in the 80s and 90s because he deserved to be. I hope he's still alive, but I kind of wish that there were more Joe Pesci movies. Like, it says he's 83. Like, he's young enough to be a senator. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well,
yeah. And then I think it's 92 is when we get, or 91. We get Mighty Ducks after that. So those are the two movies we talked about. Yeah, take us out of here.
And we are out of here. Thanks for listening once again, or for the first time. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead, like it, comment on it, subscribe, or review it. Any which way you interact would probably be best for us. So go ahead and share it to families and friends. We generally keep the content within the bounds of, usual adult listeners. So if you have any suggestions for future franchises, or nitpicks about things that we said, or legitimate complaints, go ahead and write to our email at potatochippicturespod@gmail.com. Until next time, we're too old for this shit. Bye.
Goodbye.